Good afternoon and welcome to WorldSkills Australia National Competition 2014. I'm Alex Jenkins.
And I'm Rebecca Shalon. We are live here at the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre where 500 of Australia's top apprentices, trainees and students will be competing for a spot in the Skilleroos to represent Australia in Brazil next year.
That's pretty good. WorldSkills Australia has been running since 1981 and was last held here in Perth in 1989. Perth is so proud to be here, the 2014 host city, and we're really excited to see what's coming.
If you'd like to come and check it out, the competition starts tomorrow until Saturday, 9 till 4 each day, and it's a completely free event.
Each entrant has already had a taste of victory with winning their region and now hungry to be the nation's best.
With only 50 gold medals up for grabs, the competition is sure to be fierce and the 300 industry experts will have a tough time judging.
They certainly will. It's taken over $10 million worth of equipment to stage WorldSkills Australia National Competition here at the Convention Centre.
Included in that is over 30 tri-skill activities that anyone can have a go on. Personally, I want to have a go at the bricklaying activity or maybe even make my own tea tray in the carpentry. What about you?
I'm not too sure. I might probably go see if I can get a massage or something at the beauty section.
That's a good idea.
I don't know, maybe try my hand at painting some nails.
Yeah, I think that would be very interesting to see if you were wearing the beer goggles from the community services.
Well, I don't know if anyone will be impressed with that, but...
Well, the opening ceremony is just about to start and will be hosted by Skills CEO Mark Callahan.
After being with WASA for almost 10 years, Mark has seen many young Australians transform through the challenge of competition.
There'll also be the traditional welcome from Kim Collard, and we'll be hearing from Dr. Ruth Sheen, Director General of the Department of Training and Workforce Development.
She has comprehensive experience in university governance, having been on governing councils for both Curtin and Murdoch universities.
We're going to be hearing from a variety of speakers. Included in that is Brian Wexham. He'll also be talking about some things with WorldSkills Australia. He's born in London. Brian is an experienced executive and non-executive director with an extensive background in media and advertising, and his career has been spanning for over 30 years.
Yeah, he's a committed advocate for vocational training and education and is the proud chair of WorldSkills Australia.
What an achievement. He has definitely been an advocate for WorldSkills Australia because it's such a great competition to be a part of. With over 500 competitors, as we said, there's 50 prizes up for grabs.
Only 50 gold medals. So.
Only 50 gold medals. So one person from each category will get that gold medal. And oh my gosh, I'm excited for what's to come. So some of the skills, there's plumbing, there's carpentry, there's hairdressing, there's even fashion technology.
No, it's going to be really exciting. I'm particularly interested to see what the secondary student, the VETIS or vocational education training in schools students have got to do. It's just to see what the nation's high schools are churning out. Yeah,
definitely. It's always great to foster a team spirit with this, and also just to get the guys into a real working trade. You as a tradie would know how hard it is to get in there.
Yeah, it definitely can be a bit testing, especially having to deal with the whole older tradesmen and whatnot, but it's not too bad. It definitely teaches you a lot of life skills and how to kind of think your way through situations pretty quickly, kind of thinking on your feet.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to see what's happening and see how these guys go.
Definitely, and the judges are looking for such a variety of things when they are in the judging. So it's not just doing the job right and getting the job done, it's also about precision and about taking care with it, and also a little bit of creativity, especially where fashion and nail art and all that sort of thing is concerned.
Yeah, well, I guess, with the fashion thing, it's kind of like, it's going to be hard to see how the judges, I'm not a fashion guru by any means, but it'll be interesting to see how the judges judge with all that sort of creativity because there's no real boundaries on creation.
Exactly.
I suppose.
There's actually in the fashion booth you can actually make your own design. I'm really keen to get out there and see if I can dress myself because I'm only little. I'm 5'4". No one makes clothes for little people.
Oh no, there's kid stuff. I think they make that.
Oh, Ben. I don't know what to do with that.
No, that's fine. That's good.
So I'm fun size. Okay, you're just really giant.
If you wanted to keep up with this, you can also check on social media the hashtag WSA 2014 Perth.
Yeah.
So they've got that, and we've also got the website for worldskills.org.au.
Yeah. And make sure you subscribe to the channel you're on now, the WorldSkills Australia YouTube channel, where you can catch all the coverage from us over the next few days. It's running until the 20th of September, the competition, and then of course we'll cover the closing ceremony on the 21st.
It's going to be exciting. Oh man, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it. So again, it's just the fact that it hasn't been here in Perth for 25 years.
That's true. That's as old as I am. I'm 25. It hasn't been here since I was born.
So yeah, look, we're just watching behind us now. You can probably see the crowd starting to fill up and the chairs are starting to fill. There's all the competitors and all their families and friends and whatnot coming in from all over Australia. So
exactly,
it's going to be really interesting to see how it all turns out.
We're hoping to put a great show on so that they do bring it back to Perth, because 25 years is too long, and this WorldSkills Australia goes all around Australia. Obviously, every 2 years it's held, and in between those 2 years there's the international competition, which next year, of course, is going to be held in Sao Paulo in Brazil.
That would be an experience.
I want to go.
I guess you could almost say it's the FIFA of WorldSkills.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. Could you?
Maybe. Yeah, well, I'm really excited. And also in the opening ceremony, you'll be seeing a competitor and a judge representative, and they'll be doing the oaths for the WorldSkills Australia on behalf of all of the competitors. So the 500 competitors and the 300 industry professionals doing the judging.
This is going to be an intense few days. I'm really excited for the competitors, but I just really hope that they can deal with all the stress and pressure and represent their region. Stress
and pressure, but also you can see in this event that it is something that people keep coming back to, with a lot of the industry professionals who we will talk to later in our coverage of the WorldSkills Australia National Championship. You can see that they've been involved in a very long time. It's not unusual to see that they've been involved in 10, 12 years, and some of them have even competed themselves. We were talking to the landscape construction guy. He actually competed as an apprentice when he was 17, and now he's a chief judge.
Oh, there you go. So yeah. I guess you to be kind of not too good if you're trying to judge on something that you can't do it, I suppose, huh?
Well, it's definitely something you stay involved in from young to old. You stay with it. It gives you a great trade, and it gets you a good foothold into the industry.
Watching the install and the preparation of everything over the past week, with the $10 million worth of kit and all the volunteers that work so hard, without the volunteers, nothing really gets done. You need volunteers.
Just the production, when we open the doors and all of the competitors walk through and go to the competition areas, there's also the career section as well. So as well as the competition part, there's a whole bunch of people here to help you get into the actual career. So there's an aviation place, there's a helicopter. You can see everything, and just the production to put it in. They've worked day and night to get all these things set up.
Yeah.
They actually have plumbing in the Perth Convention Centre. There's like a little skill set for the competition where they will have to install plumbing into these little walls.
No, that's good.
And they're putting in a drainage system. Like, who does that? It's crazy. Well, there you go.
So no, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing all that sort of stuff. Like you said, I'm a tradesman, and it's good to see. Although my trade isn't being featured, I'm a refrigeration mechanic by trade. Now that was held in May, so they're not here this year, so that's kind of a shame, but it's still going to be good to kind of get a touch on every other trade.
There's still 50 skills in there. There's plumbing and carpentry and all sorts of things. There's even floristry. There is something for everyone here. Yeah,
and there's the new ones that are kind of like the web design and whatnot. That'll be interesting to get along and see kind of, I guess, what the self-proclaimed nerds of today are going to do and get going on.
Yeah, well, nerds are in fashion with all the Big Bang Theory and all that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I know, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how this whole opening ceremony kicks off. After watching all the rehearsals for it, there's going to be quite the show for everyone. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, I actually looked at some of the coverage from last year, which you guys can do as well because you're on our YouTube channel. You can check out the 2013 coverage and see what was expected. And it was really amazing. It was like the Olympics, pretty much. Like they came through. I suppose this is the Olympics of the trades.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. But yeah, with only the 50 gold medal winners, there's only going to be, like we said, 50 competitors going to Perth in the Skilleroos is the team that we're sending over to Brazil.
So out of 500 people, only 50 will go through. So that means 450 people will unfortunately be a little disappointed. But
yeah, well, you can't really be too disappointed considering they have gotten this far.
Well, we will be chatting to them over the next few days. So we'll see what they had to do to get to nationals, because they all had to win in their own regions in order to get to nationals. So we got people from Toowoomba, people from Melbourne, people from Northern Territory, everywhere. Where else is in Australia?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just get it in their headspace and seeing what they do to prepare for something like this.
Yeah.
Fair enough, you practice, but you kind of practice every day, being an apprentice. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they prepare themselves for it all.
That's true. Well, I know with some of the competitions, so with the carpentry, they're actually going to have to build a cabinet from scratch. So all they're given is a pile of wood, and they have these 3 days to 8 hours a day to turn that into an amazing work of art.
That'll be good. Yeah,
it'll be cool to see what they come up with.
It's going to be good to see, especially because they've got the timing as well. So the speed test, I guess. So it'll be good to see how they go with the speed versus the quality, I guess.
That's true.
It might be all well and good building something, regardless of what it is, I suppose, building something really fast, but if it's no good,
what do you reckon? I reckon we should
have
a little competition ourselves later at the bricklaying thing. We'll see who can lay the bricks the fastest.
Yeah.
Clearly, I would win that because I have the strength.
You do. I mean, I'm not. I shouldn't even compete. I don't think. I think it's going to be just embarrassing.
I probably won't even be able to reach the top of the wall.
Well, it's just going to be a short wall.
Yeah, just a short one.
Yeah, that's all right. Remember, it's the size. It's not the size, it's the quality.
It's true. But guys, if you are following us, make sure you shout out to us on Twitter and all of your social media accounts using the hashtag WSA2014 Perth. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, get amongst it, and then also, keep up the tabs. And like we said, it is a free event, so if you're in Perth, come down to the convention centre and have a look. It won't cost you anything. Check out all the skills on the website and see what you want to get amongst. Yeah. There's also the tri-skill things that we mentioned earlier. Those are good for anyone to go. If you fancy your hand at being a mechanic or a plasterer or a hairdresser, it doesn't matter. There's something here for everyone.
Yeah, maybe you have a friend competing in the WSA and you want to tell us about it. Or what about you? Are you wanting to compete next year? Were you in regionals and didn't make it through? What are your plans for next year?
Yeah, it's going to be good. It'll be good to get amongst it. So anything else that you want to have a look at?
There is the helicopter. I do want to have a go in the aviation centre.
I did see that.
You don't get to drive. You don't get to fly the helicopter, unfortunately.
Oh,
but
I don't want to do it.
Have a little bit of a seat. I honestly don't think you'll fit in the helicopter. It's just a tiny one.
Are you picking on me? You know how sensitive I am about my weight.
All.
Jeez, and hell, you can't get a break sometimes, I reckon.
All right. So with you, how come? Did you ever try and get into something like this when you were an apprentice?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I guess at the time I wasn't really aware of it, I don't think. Or maybe I just wasn't good enough. Sad face.
I'm sure that's not the case. I never tried a trade, unfortunately, but I do get my hair done regularly, and I feel like they need to be qualified therapists as well.
Maybe I should do that because I've cut my hair on my own. I think it's quite an adventure to do that. So.
I wanted to get into hairdressing when I was younger as well, just because it is creative, and I like to change my hair a lot as well. I don't know, I get frustrated.
I guess, some people do that.
I don't know. I'm just not naturally girly. I wish I was. I love all the hair and makeup and the glamour and the nail art, but for me to do it myself,
that's
it
a
looks
big ask, eh?
Do you know what? Actually, when I was younger, I have a cousin who's she's 21 this year, and I just turned 26, so she's 5 years younger than me. And when we were little, we were doing each other's nails, and when we came out, our parents actually said to her, "Oh, you did a really good job on your own nails," but actually I had done them. So if that's an indication of how bad I am at doing girly things. There you go.
That's all right.
Again, it looks like we're about to get started.
Yeah. So again, just look at our hashtags WA 2014 Perth, and again, come down to the convention centre. It is free, so you just want to highlight that word. It's free.
Everybody loves free stuff. I love free stuff. On birthdays, like my birthday was last week, you get free meals from all these places. It's great.
It'll be good to see once all the competitors get going, see what sort of boost it gives to them for their career, and see what they're going to do.
Well, there's been a few. I know.
Maybe they're going to be aspiring judges.
Maybe. Well, as we said, a lot of them did actually become judges. There's with the chefing one. What do you call that? Chefing, cooking. I'm really excited for that, so I can see what it tastes like. But let's cross now to Mark Callahan.
Mark Callahan is on stage now, introducing the ceremony.
Well, that's a long walk, so thank you everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here this afternoon to a truly special occasion. It's the opening ceremony for the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition. Before we go much further, can I just make one request? And I know it's probably going to hurt a lot of people, but can you turn off all your mobile phones? And I don't mean just put it on silent, vibrate or whatever. Can you please turn them off? We're trialling something here where we're live streaming the opening ceremony, and apparently it's interfering with some of the feed. So maybe you can put it in flight mode. You've all come from long distances, some of you, so whatever it takes, if I can just get you to turn it all off, that'd be great. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce Kim Collard to the stage to provide a very important welcome to country.
Good evening. I'd like to begin this evening by thanking WorldSkills Australia national competition organisers for acknowledging and recognising the traditional custodians whose land we gather upon this evening, the Whadjuk people. For those in the audience, the Whadjuk are the Plains people and one of the 14 different clan groups that make up the total Noongar nation of the southwest of Western Australia. I've been bestowed a great honour here this evening, and that is to represent Ngandema Gamanga, my grandmothers and my grandfathers, and I feel very humble for the honour and privilege bestowed upon me, and I only hope that I can do them proud tonight in welcoming our many distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for the WorldSkills Australia National Competition being held here at the Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre. As the traditional custodians, our role and responsibility is to look after you, to care for you, to nurture you, whilst you're on our ancestors' land. And as a result of that, we take that very, very seriously, and we leave you in the capable and competent hands of WorldSkills event organisers and the Perth Convention Centre to look after your every needs. So kaya kawanyo, Barbaria, Dr. Ruth Sheen, Director General, Department of Training and Workforce Development. Kaya kawanyo, Mr. Brian Wexham, Chair of WorldSkills Australia, and kaya kawanyo, Mr. Mark Callaghan, Chief Executive Officer, and to Connie Wilson, General Manager, WorldSkills Australia, Bularang Buria, board members, sponsors, judges and volunteers, and kaya kawanyo Bularang, Mamakayok, Nijakalip, the 2014 competitors, Nijakalip Perth Exhibition Convention Centre National Competition. I've said hello and welcome to all our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, board members, sponsors, judges, and most importantly, to our 2014 national competitors. We welcome you all here today to the Perth Exhibition Convention Centre alongside the beautiful Swan River. Nunit Whadjuk Puja, we're sitting on Whadjuk land. Ngandema Gamanga, Balanjan Badlagan, Nijanungar Jurat, Kora, Nyitin Yay, Lightgunakat, Nijanungar Jurat. I said to you that our grandmothers, our grandfathers' feet have travelled this land for many, many thousands of years, and it's the tracks of our ancestors that we still continue to follow today. Ngandema Gamanga, Balay Mia Europe and Bularang, Mamakayok, Yanku Datyen, Keraning, WorldSkills Australia National Competition, Perth Exhibition and Convention Centre. Our ancestors' eyes are very, very happy to see many young people come to this place here, to Noongar country, for the WorldSkills Australia National Competition at the Perth Convention Centre. Barbary ni Noongar Buja, Walguminyay, Balay Wajalakwel Swan River, Nijakan Kwel Darba Yorakanyay, Barbary ni Noongar Buja, Walguminyay, Balay Mijini Walichmin, Noongar Buja, Nijawajak Buja. I said to you that the great spirit ancestor, our God, our Creator, is the rainbow serpent, the Wargle, yea? Non-Aboriginal people call that place the Swan River. That is the resting place and creation site of our great spirit ancestor, the rainbow serpent, the Wargle, and she looks over all of you tonight and protects you like an eagle whilst you're on Noongar country, whilst you're on Whadjuk country. So in conclusion, can I once again thank competition organisers for acknowledging the traditional custodians. Interestingly, as a tradesman, a boilermaker welder, this competition means a great deal to me, and I really believe that you and the trades that you represent over the next couple of days are the backbone of this country. I bring with me today the best wishes from the Noongar elders in wishing everyone well in your deliberations over the coming days, and hope that all of you have a wonderful competition. Best wishes to all of the 500 competitors representing all the different categories. Just remember, you are all winners here over the next 3 days. Good luck, enjoy, look after yourselves and each other, and welcome to Noongar country. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim, for that tremendous welcome to country, and I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this ceremony is taking place and pay my respects to elders both past and present. To Dr. Ruth Sheehan, Director General of the WA Department of Training and Workforce Development, representing the Premier of WA, the Honourable Colin Barnett. To Brian Wexham, Chair of WorldSkills Australia and members of the WorldSkills Australia Board. To our many valuable partners and sponsors, including the state training providers of Polytechnic West, Central Institute of TAFE, Challenger Institute of Technology and the West Coast Institute. WorldSkills Australia judges, conveners and the many, many volunteers, competitors and team leaders, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone. For those of you who don't know, I think I've probably had my name up there already, but I am the CEO of WorldSkills Australia. I am your MC for this afternoon's ceremony. And this is an extremely important ceremony for WorldSkills Australia as it marks the official opening of the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition. And it is extremely important because for the first time we are live streaming this event, courtesy of the tremendous work of the staff and students of the Central Institute's Broadcast TV department. While the competition doesn't start until tomorrow morning, each of you here, each of the competitors here this afternoon, have a very important task to complete following this ceremony, and that is the competitor familiarisation. This will be your first look at the competition site and your first look at your category. And it is an extremely important part of your final preparations, so we will not keep you here for too long. However, enjoy the moment. You all deserve to be here, you all deserve to be up here on this stage. Enjoy the moment and make sure that when you do go out onto site, you're fully prepared to take on the rest of Australia. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Ruth Sheehan to the lectern to say a few words and to officially open the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition.
Thank you, Mark. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Premier, the Honourable Colin Barnett, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Western Australia. Now, Team WA, of course, already know our state very well, but if it's your first visit to our state, let me tell you, the weather's like this every single day. We've got thunderstorms forecast for Monday. It's a busy time in training for Western Australia. Not only do we have WorldSkills here today, but we've got the Skills West Expo, and just the other night along there at the Convention Centre, we had our own training awards. But of course, you see, we're undergoing major change in Western Australia. We've gone through a change from investment in mining construction through to operations, and there's a moderating labour market. And during such a market, the demand for skilled people is still strong, but it requires different things. We know that the forecast for growth in employment shows that technical and trade workers will continue to be in high demand, but they're going to require higher level skills than ever before, and not just in areas of technology, but in the traditional trades areas. We'll be requiring of you higher level skills than perhaps you thought were going to be required. And high-value jobs will only be available to the most skilled and the most adaptable people in your fields. Skills are a special asset, of course, and developing these assets is entirely and quite literally in your own hands. As WorldSkills competitors, you've already demonstrated excellence in your field and the ability to adapt and work under pressure. And you've also demonstrated your excellence in the way that your hands, your minds and hearts work when under such pressure. So aside from you, the most important people here today, the competitors, I'd also like to acknowledge some of the other people who are part of this searching for the very best of the very best. Firstly, to those of you who have brought the event to Perth, congratulations and thank you very much for your hard work and remarkable preparation. The small team of people who have worked with the Department of Training and Workforce Development over the last 3 years to bring WorldSkills back to Western Australia, back to Perth, for the first time since 1989. I'd like to acknowledge the financial contribution from the State Government of Western Australia. And I'd like to thank the many officials, the judges, the mentors and the volunteers who have made all the events here, and there are lots of separate events here, possible, not just over these few days, but throughout the entire regional qualifying process as well. All of you are experts in your fields too, and we acknowledge you in the same way that we acknowledge the competitors today. I hope that the opportunity for competitors and to sport people to take some time away from the intense pressure of the competition to see some of the state is still there. You do have a few days of fantastic weather before the rain sets in. And so, to the special people here today, not just the champions, but the champions, the champions. Very best of luck to you all. It is now my very great pleasure to open the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth, and many thanks for those words. And indeed, thank you for the tremendous support, and not only of yourself, but indeed the support of the department throughout the whole planning process. And I look forward to taking you around the venue again over the next couple of days. I'd now like to invite Brian Wexham, the Chair of WorldSkills Australia, to the stage to officially welcome everyone here to the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition on behalf of WorldSkills Australia. Brian.
It's a long walk. Thank you very much, Kim, and also Ruth, for those inspiring words. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to members of the WorldSkills Board who are also here, and also to other distinguished guests and, of course, our competitors. I was in Brisbane yesterday and seeing off the Queensland team. And there are 106 of them here, along with their mentors and their team leaders. And, you know, talking to some of them afterwards, after we'd had the official ceremony, they seemed pretty confident that they were going to win all the gold medals. And I just wondered how the rest of you felt about that. So I think to give you a little bit of an opportunity to show your true colours, I think what we should do is just go through all the individual teams and just see, and make a lot of noise, please. So let's start off with Tasmania. Tasmania team, where are you? That was pretty good. Northern Territory. Very good. Victoria. Okay, we are going to leave the best to last, okay? New South Wales. Very good. South Australia. ACT. Okay, come on, you're waiting for it now, aren't you? WA. Okay, thank you very much. Did I leave anybody out? No. Okay. Who? Brisbane. Come on. Okay, so let me just tell you, I'm been privileged over the last couple of weeks. We had National Skills Week, and I had an opportunity 2 weeks ago to meet a lot of the Skillaroos and the previous WorldSkills competitors who are acting now as ambassadors. Their energy and their profile to get more and more people involved in skills and trades. And they truly are a representation of what we have in terms of excellence, as indeed all of you are. And this week will actually change your life, and you probably don't quite realise that yet, but genuinely it will. And I'd like to share with you a story that as an ex-WorldSkills competitor, and his life was changed by competing in WorldSkills. He was an auto electrician, and he did the regionals in New South Wales and won the gold medal, and then he went to the nationals and won the gold medal there. And then he had the opportunity, because WorldSkills work with the Big Brother movement. The Big Brother movement, in case you haven't heard of them, they're a charity. They're about people that came here years ago, and they try to give something back to send people to the UK to get more experiences. And if I can just use a sporting analogy for a while, people like I'm trying to think of one now. The wicket keeper, Alan Gilchrist, who's a WA person, as you would know, he was part of the Big Brother movement that went to train in the UK. Anyway, he went there, got a scholarship, and went there for 2 weeks. He trained with the Marines, and it was a leadership course. And from that course, he then went to work with Jaguar Motor Cars for 3 weeks. And they were so impressed with him, they gave him a job. And so he worked at Jaguar Cars, and he then got poached by Aston Martin Lagonda, and he went on to be their global sales manager, travelling not just Europe but the world, representing Aston Martin Lagonda. He came back here only a year ago and is now a senior executive with Hastings Deering, which is a major company up in the Northern Territory. And this guy is still only 30. And I guess the point that I want to make to you is that there is opportunity out there, and you all have this moment to actually seize that opportunity. You're all winners already. You've already developed your skills, and there are a lot of people that have vested time in you, as you would agree, both your institute, your parents, your employer, your mentors have all invested time in you. And now is an opportunity for you to show in this arena exactly what you can do. And I think it's very exciting because Australia needs people like you. We need leaders and we need people involved in trades and skills. I can never understand, I never went to university, I can never understand why people think that people that go to university in some way better. You're not. It's about being on par. It's a choice. And this country is built on skills and built on trades. And we have a lot to showcase, and we have a lot that we're proud of. And I want you to feel that pride that when you go through there today and you have a look around and you see what is before you, I know that you will all do your very, very best. And doing your best is what this is all about. Because Australia competes on the world stage. And Australia is in a point of transition, as indeed many economies are. I mean, if you take, for example, road and transport and logistics, we now deliver about $30 billion worth of parcels that never existed 10 years ago because people are ordering over the net. So things are changing, and I know that we've got people who are doing vetting schools that are also here this week. And primary industries is another area, you know, in the farms, are also becoming more robotic and technically more astute in terms of how we go about things. You're all part of that world. And it's a great opportunity. There are great challenges there, and I welcome you this week to showcase exactly what you can do. And before I conclude, I'd just like to mention and thank the Australian government who have helped finance this, the West Australian government as well. I remember going to see the head of WA Education along with the Deputy Premier, who are incredibly enthusiastic about putting this on. Also the institutes here, Polytechnic West, Central, West Coast Institute and Challenger have all contributed an enormous amount of time to host and put this event on. And added to that, of course, there are the volunteers. WorldSkills is a volunteer organisation. Without the volunteers, we couldn't do what we do. And I would like to extend a big thank you to all the volunteers, to the teachers, to the mentors, to the judges, to the team leaders who have helped you get to this stage. And I would ask you now, please give them all a round of applause. So, that's me over and done with. Thank you very much. Big welcome. Good luck to you all, and I'm sure you'll do very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. And I want to thank Brian as well as the rest of the WorldSkills Australia board for the huge amount of time that they all invest in the organisation. And Brian mentioned the huge amount of work that volunteers do. Well, the WorldSkills Australia board is purely a voluntary board position, so thank you for all the time that the board put in. And I think it's also timely again to recognise all the work of the volunteers too. And shortly, you know, the venue will be revealed to all of the competitors when they go to familiarisation, and it's fantastic talking to a lot of past competitors, especially those who are coming back to the competition for the first time since they competed in 2012. And I think every single one of them have said to me during the last couple of days that they cannot believe about how much work actually goes on to get a competition ready. They said they just walked into familiarisation and it was all ready to go. They've now experienced the other side of it. So again, to all the competitors who are going to go out there, just take a moment to think about all of the volunteer hours that have gone into making this a fantastic competition site. And from me as CEO, I'd just like to acknowledge and thank every single one of the volunteers from WorldSkills. It makes my job a real pleasure to know you guys. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Jasmine Gordon and Troy Everett to the stage to take the competitor and officials oath on behalf of the competitors and judges here for the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition.
In the name of all competitors, I promise to compete fairly, respecting and abiding by the established rules in the true spirit of WorldSkills Australia.
In the name of all the judges, I promise that we will officiate with complete impartiality, respecting and abiding by the established rules and the pillars of integrity, fairness and transparency, all in the true spirit of WorldSkills Australia.
Well, it looks like we're going to South Australia. We've got SA 2014 Perth at the moment. That's all right. I think we've got plenty of skills on site that we can fix that, so that's not a problem at all. Thank you to both Jasmine and Troy, and please, again, let's give them all a round of applause, because I think... Again, like this opening ceremony, it's the first time I think that we've had competitor and official oaths, and I think it's a very important part of the competition that we want to continue. I'd now like to draw everyone's attention to the screens, where we'll see a short video showing some competition footage from past competitions, just to give a bit of a taste of what's to come, and a welcome message from someone special.
Hi, I'm Tim Taylor. I represented the 2013 International WorldSkills competition. I'm a skillaroo and I competed in the automobile technology category, where I ended up winning the gold medal. The national competition was a massive step up from regionals. Going into it, I really didn't know what to expect. You know, once these doors open, you guys are going to see just how big this thing is. The next 3 days are going to be some of the hardest you'll ever work. But just stick at it. You know, you might feel like you're having a rough time of it, or you might feel like you're having an awesome time, but just stick to your plan and look to that end goal. I just want to wish all the competitors the best of luck. If you give it 100%, that's all you can ask of yourselves. Whatever comes from that is, you know, what comes. But I think the biggest thing is enjoy the experience. It is a challenge and it is pretty full on, but you know, enjoy it. It's one of the most rewarding things you'll do, and I can't rate it highly enough.
So there we go, everyone. You've already had a glimpse of the venue. That's what we're here for. To all the competitors, I'm sure there's a mixture of emotions that you're feeling right now. I'm sure you're nervous. I'm sure that you'll be faced with many challenges over the next few days. Don't ever underestimate the support of your team leaders and your teammates. While most of you are competing individually, you are all part of a regional team. And while there may be challenges ahead, as well as nerves, I hope you all take the time, as Tim said, to enjoy the experience. Who knows where it's going to take you. So without anything further, here we are. We've got the banner. We're channeling our inner footy final sort of thing. Unfortunately, the West bowed out last week with Freo going down. But what we'd like to do is now to celebrate all the competitors competing at the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition. So I'm going to call all categories in a particular order. It's no special order. I'd like the Chief Judge to come up to lead the category onto stage, break through the banner and head off to your familiarisation. And I think everybody else is in the room. We can all give them a round of applause as they go through. So again, to assist us and to lead the competitors to their categories, I will first ask the chief judges of that category to come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, but before we start, can I get you all again to put your hands together and wish all our competitors the best of luck over the next 3 days. And who knows which of those competitors will be joining us up here in 4 days' time at the presentation ceremony. First cab off the rank, I'd like to get the cookery category up here. So come on guys, it's all your familiarisation time, so let's get going. Who's going to break through that banner? Come on guys. And I now have restaurant service.
Wait for your expert.
Wait for your expert. You've lost one already, James. So when I call you up, please wait for your expert. Your judge, sorry. Unless you know where you're going already, and I hope you don't. I'd now like to call up Vet in Schools Commercial Cookery. Maybe the others are up here, Louise, I don't know. Head on down, Louise. Vet in Schools, Food and Beverage. Retail baking bread. And I can tell everyone already, the boys have been baking some bread down there, so there's some fantastic smells already down at the venue. Retail baking pastry. And this is one category where you know who the veterans of WorldSkills are, because at the end of every competition day, when the judging is complete, you'll see them hanging around like seagulls, waiting to pick at the chocolate and all the other good things that are out there. Retail butchery. Hairdressing. Electrical installation. control.
How are you, mate?
Vet in Schools Electrotechnology. Refrigeration. And for those of you who don't know, refrigeration, we've already held our national competition. It was in May in Melbourne. So we're fortunate enough to have our gold medalist here who's going to use it as a training exercise over the next 3 days. Bricklaying. Plumbing. The Water Innovation Team Challenge. Challenge that we've put together in partnership with RMIT. So I hope everyone gets a chance to go down and have a look at these guys in action over the next 3 days in the plumbing category. Landscape construction. Carpentry. Vehicle painting. Wall and floor tiling. Jewellery. Cabinet making. Plastering. Vetting schools construction. Auto body repair. Automotive mechanics. Vetting schools automotive. Auto electrical. Heavy vehicle mechanics. Mechatronics. Fitting. Turning. The Engineering Excellence Team Challenge. And thank you to the AI group for all of their support. Welding. Vetting schools, metals and engineering. construction steelwork. Sheet metal technology. Now the next lot of categories are all in an area we're calling the Creative Hub, which is in the Level 3 ballroom, and I've got to say it's probably the best view of Perth that you'll get, so hopefully you'll still focus on your activities. Floristry. Printing and graphic arts. Web design. Signage. Business services. Vetting schools, business services. Fashion technology. Painting and decorating. Vetting schools, tourism. Vetting schools, retail. Beauty care. And last but by no means least, our vetting schools, primary industries competitors. Everyone as our primary industries competitors, who are the last competitors here, make their way through the banner. Let's give everyone another round of applause. Well, there's not many of us left here now, but what a great way to open the 2014 WorldSkills Australia National Competition. I know that we had some cameras down on the competition floor, and I can't wait to see the photos and the video footage and just to capture the look on the competitors' faces as they walk through and see the competition site for the first time. The bulk of the people who are still here are probably our team leaders, and I just want to say a special thank you to you guys. I mean, the work that you guys do, I mean, I've had the privilege of, I guess, getting to know our Australian team leaders quite well, and to see the work that goes on that they put in to make sure that the team is not only well prepared, both mentally and also that they're doing their training, but also just that they are looked after and safe, and you know, everything is going right for them. I mean, I think I've heard you referred to as their mums and dads before, and I know it's a challenge and you probably won't rest until they're all back on the plane or on the buses or wherever they've got to go. But from everyone at WorldSkills Australia, I want to acknowledge your efforts too, so thank you very much for everything that you do. So, for everyone who attended today, all of you who are left, thank you. As I said, this is the first time that we've trialled this opening ceremony. I think it's been a huge success. I look forward to doing it for many, many years in the future. And I look forward to seeing everyone here over the next 3 days of competition. I think you'll all agree once you've been through the competition site, whether it's your first time or your fifth time like me, it never ceases to amaze you a number of things. The volunteer spirit that's out there, they're all out there because they're passionate about young people and passionate about skills in this country. And they want to give every young person the best chance to succeed. And that's what you see in abundance out there. And then to the young people themselves, it must be very difficult and very challenging for a young person to make the commitment to take on a competition such as this. They've already done that at the regional level, and now they've taken that next step up to the national level, and I think they all need to be applauded and recognised as we all go through over the next 3 days of competition. There'll be plenty of people here, there'll be plenty of colour. Not only will the judges on the judging team be looking at their work, but it'll be scrutinised by the thousands of people who come through as the general public over the next few days. I can only imagine what that must be like. I would hate to be sitting at my desk at work and having thousands of people walking past and critiquing every little thing that I do. So I think they all need a round of applause when we see them again on Sunday evening. For now, thank you for taking the time to be here. I look forward to welcoming you all back tomorrow to have a look at the competition site in action. So thank you and good afternoon.
Okay, the Ultimate WorldSkills Australia Challenge National Competition 2014 has now opened. I'm Jen McGinley.
I'm Becky Shalon.
And I'm Alex Jenkins. As you can see, we're standing in the sections now with everyone that's kind of piled into their areas. So we're looking forward to what's going on under the proceedings.
Yeah, they'll just be sussing things out, have a look at what they have to do. I know that in cabinet making they'll be staring at their nice pretty pile of wood to see what kind of cabinet they'll make.
All the magical stuff that they can make with a big pile of wood.
Absolutely. So the competitors are now going to familiarise themselves with their workspace, with their equipment, and they're getting briefings at the moment from some of the judges and the experts here. Of course, health and safety, vital. There's some real dangerous pieces of equipment here at the Perth Convention Centre.
Definitely, they're all in their pretty little yellow vests and safety things.
Yeah, safety is definitely going to be number one here because you don't want anybody out of the competition due to a misfortunate event. So we want to try and keep everyone safe and sound, and not only just the competitors but all the spectators as well.
Nerves will probably be setting in for them. As we said, there's 500 competitors and only 50 of them will walk away with the gold.
Absolutely, and over our coverage the next 3 days of the competition, we're going to be chatting to the competitors. We're going to be finding out how they're feeling, how they're getting on with their tasks over 3 days. Now we have speed tests as part of those tasks. Now, of course, working against the clock and making sure you do work of your very best quality can be a bit tricky. Now, Alex, you have a background in the world of trade. Tell us about that, and working to the best of your ability, of course, always on the clock.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things, I guess, sometimes not so much with the boss on your back and also with the customer on your back. You don't want them, they don't want to be paying too much. So I guess it's going to be kind of the judges essentially going to be the customer here. So all the competitors are going to be under the clock and wanting to do it right and only once and mainly safe. So you want to be safe and double checking everything and make sure you're doing it all right and doing it good the first time.
Of course, and over the next 3 days you can come along and see what it's all about here at the Convention Centre. There's a try a skill section, loads of skills in there if you fancy a bit of baking, cooking, there's hairdressing. Anything you guys fancy having a go at over the next few days?
Like I said before, I definitely would like to get into the beauty section and get some massages going on. That'd be nice and relaxing. Anything else, kind of a bit blokey stuff as well, I reckon. Any sort of bricklaying or plastering or building would be good. So, Becky?
I definitely want to get into the massage after I heard that. I thought that was a very clever idea. And I also want to learn how to do a proper braid at the hairdressing because they also do beading. And I think that'll be pretty cute.
Oh, yeah. That'll be one of the life skills that you need.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can keep up to date with everything that's happening right here on the WorldSkills Australia channel. And please hashtag also, if you're going to be tweeting us and you're on Facebook as well, hashtag WSA 2014 Perth.
As well as talking to all the competitors, we will be talking to the judges as well. And we'll be finding out exactly what they're looking for and, yeah, just what they're going to be judging on.
And there's every kind of skill and trade you can imagine here, even some I haven't heard of.
Yeah, like auto body repair and joinery. Yeah.
And of course mechatronics. Now we passed the stand for that yesterday, so we're going to be heading off there tomorrow and finding out exactly what all that's about. So stay tuned, and we'll bring you all the latest from WorldSkills Australia 2014 right here in Perth.
See you later.